Hello everyone, I'm Dragon with you. So, as you can see, we played with Flapper, the current mutation, and it's not even mastery, it's only the level 12 casual of Flapper. I thought that this mutation is easy enough to get rid of it, and tested it with some allies. So, he just needed to improve Abathur, and as a result, I thought, okay, why not, let's get a couple of levels using mutation. Basically, the mutators are lava burst from ground and extra infested from all units of enemies. So basically, the more health the enemy unit has, the more infested will be spawned. It's not super hard, but remember that all the time you need to look at Gennara and see if she's okay. So keep your drone or probe near it all the time. Because without support, she will just lose.
I am First Ascendant Gennara, and I have been challenged to Rakshir by a faction of Tal'Darim, who foolishly remain loyal to Amon. The Dark God bolsters their champion's strength. Send both of your armies to my side against mine. I will emerge victorious.
So basically we need to help her, and to do it we need to stay around. Gennara is good enough. Fortunately, Amon's champion is not super hard, and that's why they seem to be equal, as you can see. Depending on which support is better, one of them will fail. As you can see, I decided not to waste time and immediately sent a probe.
Send your armies to me at once.
It might be a good idea, but remember that too many lava bursts at a brutal difficulty are around and you might lose someone. That's why when you are Artanis, you keep your ally alive and your forces alive as well. Meanwhile, Flapper gets his toxic nests around to get more biomass and to improve the quality of his army. My defense is just basic, a wall and some units near it. I'll make it faster because this replay is kind of long. Basically, when you play Abathur, you will start from a couple of roaches, and if you're lucky enough, with the help of your ally, you will improve one of them on biomass. And soon, your aim is to get Brutalisk as soon as possible, usually. And of course, to avoid lava bursts.
Support Amon's champion.
The problem is that actually enemy forces will attack Gennara, and at the same time they will attack your main base. So it's better not to fight too near to the opponent here. That's why I just got some losses. But meanwhile, with the Swarm Queen healing roaches, and with several dragoons, we feel okay here. Meanwhile, another attack was done here. Fortunately, I guess Toxic Nests helped to deal with it. And of course, my forces. So I got some units around and it's okay. But still, as you can see, my ally already has a Super Roach with lots of biomass. And after the fight, finally he got the Brutalisk. So now we feel better with his special force. But still, we need somehow to clear this area. Before we do it, remember that the hybrid is near, and when he awakens, you will be forced to kill it
Support me.
as soon as possible. That's why I'm not forcing technology, I only getting basic upgrades for my dragoons. And I'm waiting for the hybrid to appear, that's why I don't want to waste the ultimate ability right now. Yeah, it's painful, you will need some strength to deal with this front line. But anyway, wait for the hybrid. Meanwhile, my ally also has his army around. His biles are better than the casual ones, they have more radius. And as you can see, he deals with his opponent kind of well. But meanwhile, I'm holding the line and trying to pick some bunkers around. So after you do the upgrade, you will overshoot the bunkers, you will have more range, and that's the moment when we need to kill the hybrid. So first of all, see all the hybrids, then ultimate ability and GG hybrids. Basically, I'm not forced to fight with everything around, so I'm just going back to my ally and we need to push Jinara. About the elementals of Slain, as you can see, 3 Brutalisks will work perfectly, but I decided that okay, I might just try to fix it myself, because I have range and so on. But before we start, I needed to get someone to Jinara, remember about supporting her all the time. And here comes the Slain Elemental. So at brutal difficulty, he uses his abilities kind of fast, that's why I was just trapped here. Unfortunately, my microcontrol wasn't good enough, but still I started to keep an eye on the Slain Elemental, and when you finish with the Elemental, all your units are free. I'm Artani, so I can actually afford walking through the enemy base, it's okay. And now, at this point, we have an army, my ally has a second base, so everything seems good. But remember that after you win some time, collect an army, another hybrid will be ready. And as you can see, I don't have the ultimate ability, but we can't waste any time. A strong attack was here. Unfortunately, my basic warping did not help a lot. So I went on spawning more units, went on using my top panel ability, just to keep all my army fighting at the main position. Meanwhile, with the help of my ally and the shield, we did the job versus the hybrid. And here, thanks to my ally, we finished the attack too. But unfortunately, as you can see, now my army suffered losses, so it's due to Flapper, where we go, what we do. I need some time to recollect after these 2 fights at once. And another elemental. So as you can see, my ally has enough forces, but even with the Artanis' shield, it's better to get Brutalisks away as soon as they are heavily damaged, not to let them die. I understand that biomass is already collected by most of the units, but still it's kind of painful. It's better to save the Brutalists. And as you can see, meanwhile, my army is not good enough to finish here. But I collected lots of biomass, and now my ally will get some more Brutalists after this fight. Mutation is strong, actually, so we suffered some losses. But still, it's better than, for example, Sky Protoss with Arbiters or something like that. So another mech attack here. And remember that we want to deal with the second Slain Elemental as well. As you can see, I am trying to finish this. Unfortunately, some more lava bursts around and lots of biomass for my ally around. And invisible mines, be careful with them. Yes, you need detection. Anyway. Flapper has detection, so sooner or later he will deal with these mines. Meanwhile, I am starting my own second base, and still I need more resources. As you can see, after all these battles, I'm at low limit and I need to come back here. That's why I need to force my second base. Not to forget upgrades. Special upgrades are already done. And now I think that okay, let my ally deal here, I'll help him with the top panel. Meanwhile, I'll stay and recollect near Jinara, because I need some more time. And as you can see, my ally deals with the opponent easily. Unfortunately, Brutalists are away. He needs to recollect them soon. And let's see the fight versus Elemental. So, meanwhile, I'm fighting here, defending Jinara. And he's trying to bile the slain elemental. As you can see, biles are okay, but I wouldn't say that they're OP or something like that. Yeah, they're much better than the casual ones, but still, it's a slow process. So even as my ally has lots of forces, he still needs more. And yes, he is suffering because of special ability, the cocoon. So I decided to help here. And actually, as you can see, when we finished with this elemental, my ally had 150 and now he is on 81. So actually I think it was my mistake. I really wanted to let him kill the slain elemental himself, but with this army you are forced to suffer because of his abilities. So it's better to like swap roles. I understood it and said, okay, I'm still keeping here. The position is ours. Meanwhile, the slain elemental is being destroyed sooner or later. And yes, as you noticed, his ability has little cooldown, so we had some problems around. Fortunately, I also have the top panel ability. So meanwhile, another fight here. Slain elemental is finally destroyed. It costed some forces.
Now return your full attention to Rakshir.
And as you can see, there's a bug for Abathur, so when he morphs Ravagers, these cocoons, like their graphics remain on the map. Actually, nothing is there, but it's a bug. So, unfortunately, after these fights, I got some losses, so I thought that it's better my ally to tank instead. And, of course, I saved my ultimate ability for the hybrids. I would recommend you to do the same because this army is very large. Remember that you are supposed to attack together and still lots of enemies around. That's why now, as you can see after the battle, I got more limits than before. And now we can go back to Jinara because something pushes her away again. Of course, top panel ability helps here, and actually the situation is controlled again. Zealots with splash damage are effective not only versus enemy units, but also versus the Infested, because they spawn from every single enemy unit. And actually that's it, we are okay here, my ally goes back to his Brutalist army. I would also recommend to get more queens, so 3 is not enough I guess. But still he plays with Artani, so the sky is okay. And I try to get my base working. Unfortunately, I often forget about it. Never mind. So the last part of the enemy is here. As you can see, with extra range, I'm out shooting the bunkers, but I'm still trying to go with my ally. So nearer to the end of the game, more attacks will irritate you. You need either to focus your attention on the Jinara or on the attacks. As you can see, we decided that most our army is trying to defend here. Meanwhile, part of my allies' army will go and defend at the main base and at the second base. And basically, as you can see, I got heavy losses because I started a fight in the position when enemy base was too near. So actually I needed more time. Fortunately, when getting second base with my top abilities, it's okay for me. So as you can see, Flapper collected a nice army again, twice as many as mine. Lots of biomass is wandering around, that's why his army will even get better soon. As you can see, he already has super buffed units, but it's not his limit. And Jinara walks again. So I thought that we might wait for my ultimate ability, but actually we thought, okay, let's clear the main base of the opponent. Keep in mind that when Jinara is near you, she will mostly activate the last part. So what I mean by the last part is when actually you clear this front base and Jinara is near the victory, the hybrid wave appears and starts to push her back hard. And so look at her. Massive psionic power, and really she moves backward. Meanwhile, we need to deal with another attack here. Fortunately, my ally still has enough forces, and this toxic nest will help as well. So actually he moves backward to deal with the attack, and I'm trying to hold the position here, waiting for my ally. Of course, I know that if I attack alone, I will almost exactly die. That's why my ultimate ability is ready, I am getting more forces around, and now I just need to wait my ally to go here. So when we are together again, it's time to destroy the last part of their opponent. For some reason I thought that okay, I'll tank once more. Although my range is better than my allies, I need to highlight territory for my ultimate ability. We're in position with the shield and everything goes fine. After all the hybrids are dead, the psionic support stops, and we can just go back to Jinara. I'm trying to get rid of all the enemy units around here, so to force the process, I just warped in some zealots. My ally got some roaches around, and now we are back to Jinara. And now actually it's time to finish the game, so we're not forced to defend anywhere. We just hold the position and push Jinara forward. Remember that as soon as the enemy stealth units are around, she will not move. So you need to get rid of the mines and so on. And here we go. So actually that's how we did it. This mutation is not super hard, but Flapper did his best, I would say. So actually you still can win this mutation with a not super powerful commander. I mean, when you don't have even mastery. If your ally is good enough, if you are good enough, then just try to get some levels at this mutation for your new co-op commanders. Some tips. Remember that the best enemy forces are still around the hybrids. So prepare your ultimate abilities to deal with the hybrids as they push Jinara fastest possible way. The second tip, when you are fighting versus the last and the pre-last wave, it's better to keep together. So you might get couple of your units to defend the base, and most of your armies still need to deal with the hybrids. And basically that's all maybe for this mutation. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to Flapper for being my ally. See you in my next videos. Good luck to you.